That's the truth. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the first half of our show. We'll be right back here after 5 minutes. This is Drew Malone Raines III with Mr. Bob Chapman, the International Forecaster. That's the 3 W's, the International F-O-R-E, caster, CASTER.com. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen, ABBA, singing Gimme, Gimme, Gimme. But I got news for you. It's not about a man on this show. It's about money. And you hear these people yelling and screaming like those that heard yesterday there in Missouri. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Where's my money? Where doesn't Obama have some more money in the stash? We need it now. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the screams at a rally in Springfield, Missouri yesterday. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Give me my share. Give me my money. Give us some money. We need money now. Ladies and gentlemen, they were shouting this. Not one or two, and these were not just white school teachers. These were black school teachers, mostly black school teachers in a union. And the ones that were of the black faith and the black nation, they were the ones screaming the loudest, Obama, we want our share from the stash. Like Obama's got a stash up there. He's got a stash. Ladies and gentlemen, America doesn't have money, and obviously a lot of people out there think that there's a stash. Well, there is no stash. We're going into hyperinflation because the government is printing money faster than they cut the trees down. Mr. Chapman, they're even coming out with a new $100 bill. The question here is they're saying it's about counterfeiting, but what do you think this new $100 bill is really all about? Welcome back to the show.
Well, I'm sure that counterfeiting is part of it, but it's interesting that the bill won't come out until next year. And it could come out at such a time that perhaps the United States and other countries might multilaterally devalue. I think that's something to keep in mind. The $100 bill is our largest denomination bill. We used to have $1,000 bills as well as 500s, but government called them in because drug dealers were using them because it takes less pieces of paper to represent what you have. And I'm sure that was a salient argument, but over in Europe they have euros that are worth over $800, and they don't seem to have any problem with it. But I think you all should look at the Wholesale Price Index, which is called the PPI, Producer Price Index. And it was up in the month of March 0.7%. And on an annualized year-on-year basis, it was up 6.1%. Now, those are official figures, and anybody worth his salt knows that the government lies about all their figures. And it's my estimate that the PPI is somewhere around 8%, real PPI, because of the bogus numbers that government puts out. And, you know, I've been tracking these sort of things for years, and I have my own formulas that I use. But the bottom line here is that the big gains in costs of producer prices, not consumer prices, and I'll explain that in a minute. But these wholesale prices rose more than expected, of course, as food prices surged by the most in 26 years. Now that is really something. Everybody eats, so that means everybody is going to get hit with this. Now, what happens in producer prices, they go to the factory or to the insurance company where wages are paid or things are created, mostly in industry. And that producer price index sometimes does not reflect an increase in the CPI, Consumer Price Index. And the reason why is that sometimes firms will eat the increase. Not all the time, just a few times, sometimes. And so it can be that some of it isn't passed on. But the big point here is that the real figure is around 8%. So if you was wondering if inflation was out there when you went to the supermarket and your government and Wall Street have been telling you that we didn't have inflation or hardly any, they're wrong. And this is proof positive, these figures that came out today.
We have a caller in here from area code 559-732. 559-732. Caller, you're here if you would like to ask a question.
Hi, I'm calling from Central California, and when things collapse, I'm a little concerned about gangs and rioting coming out of L.A. Is that a real concern? And if it is, where would a safe city or state be to move? We're raising 2 small grandsons.
Well, first of all, gang activity throughout the world exists today where it didn't, say, 50 years ago. And in large cities, gang activity is very prevalent. I saw a report, it's probably about 2 years old now, but in the LA basin, there's 250,000 hardcore gang members who are armed as well as the military, if not better. And so with that in mind, you have something to be concerned about. Even the outlying states have gangs that have migrated already from large cities. Sisters in the police department in Rapid City, South Dakota, they have gangs. You go into cities in Mexico and South America or in Central America, they have gangs. So it's pretty hard to escape that influence. I know of the states in the United States, a lot of people go to Montana and Idaho and North Dakota to escape that kind of element. With its large population and large unemployment, you'll find a lot of gang members. So it's pretty hard to escape. And the Central Valley, which is where you live, and I do a program there every 2 weeks in Modesto, the Patriot program, for those who listen. And I really like the program. It's a good one. There's really no place to hide. Today, it's safer in foreign countries than it is in large American cities. Although, quite frankly, crime rates are considerably lower today than they were 15 years ago. And as I explained earlier on, one of the reasons, big reason, is concealed carry. And of course, you can't do that in California. And in fact, there's a lot of weapons you can't even buy in California and legally hold. If you'd bought them before the change in rules, well, I guess you can keep them. But there are better places to live, and I think you have to look at cities and areas that would be attractive to you. I mean, there's climate, and there's exposure to schooling, there's the facilities, cost of taxation. There's a lot of things to think about. There's no easy answer. And if you're out of the main city, no matter where you are, you stand a better chance of not being affected by things that gangs do, such as crime and murder. And so I think the best advice is to make sure you know how to use weapons and have something that you can reach out and touch them with if they decide that they're going to rob your house. And that would be an AR-15 or an AK-47. And so that's something for you to think about. Those kinds of weapons are much better than others for that sort of thing.
Does the size,
any other questions, ma'am?
Yes, does the size of the city matter? Ours is about 100,000. I keep hearing about large and small cities, but I'm not sure what the definition of that is.
Well, I would say under 200,000, 250,000, 300,000. Under 300,000 is a small city. If you only have 100,000, well, maybe you won't have much problem. It all depends on what's going on now.